It's Monday the 5th of November and welcome back to my channel. If you happen to see my Instagram post yesterday, I did a rookie error. I was playing with iMovies yesterday and I had put together all this fantastic content which I'd recorded over the last week or so, and didn't have enough space on my phone to save the iMovie. So I backed it all up to the laptop, proceeded to delete because Brain didn't connect, and I've sort of deleted the stuff that was actually in the iMovie that hadn't been saved to, yeah, well, hey, doesn't matter, does it? It's all still here. I can do it all together. It's going to be not quite the same. I'll still have to do a little fiddle with iMovie because I want to actually insert like before and after photos if I can. Well, before photos, you know what I mean. If I can, we'll see how that goes. It might not happen, but we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, it'll just be a basic video that I'll put up. And yeah, you won't get all the fancy stuff. We'll just see. I'm going to try. So, starting again. Welcome to my channel. My name's Leonie. I go by Stitching Noni on FlossTube, Instagram, and anywhere else in social media, blogs or whatever. This is my second video for 2018. I did have a bit of a gap, about 12 months gap, and then I came back a month or two ago and did a quick little update, and now I'm back again. So this will be my October update, and there's mainly stitching, tiny weeny bit of stuff I want to show you, some pretty little Needleminders that have come in, but other than that it's pure stitching. I haven't bothered to grab all my stash and stuff. I'll do that another time to show you haul and things, but most of it I've been a good girl and I've been putting away as it's come in after I've put it on my Xstitch app, because I'm being very good in recording everything on my Xstitch app. And oh, I've got a cat that's just decided to come to visit, so fingers crossed he doesn't jump up on me, because that will be the end of the video if he does. And he's looking at me with rather cross little eyes at the moment because I told him to go away before and he's not very happy. But anyway, we'll see how we go. But you stay there, baby. Good boy. Right, so last time I did a video, I showed you a new start that I had, which was a Lesley tear design, and I was doing a design called Black Work Lady. It came from the World of Cross Stitching issue 166, and it's pure DMC black with French knots. I decided I didn't want to do French knots. I don't have an issue with French knots. I actually like French knots, but on this design there was an awful lot of them. Then I just thought I'd pretty it up. I copied an idea from Kerry in Stitches. She did hers, finished hers just before I started mine, or around the same time. But this is my finish. It is stitched on Raspberry Lemonade from Hand Dyed by Stephanie, and it's a 32 count Opal Belfast. I think it was 32 count, I'm pretty sure it was. Yes. 32 count Opal Belfast, and it was Raspberry Lemonade. It's actually just the half of the rest of the piece. I haven't cut it yet. We'll go from there. And as you can see, I just used little black rainbowy Mill Hill beads for where the French knot should be. All pretty and sparkly. She's gorgeous. So she was my main focus at the beginning of October, and I got her finished, so I was really pleased about that. That was actually a really good thing to do. Then from the Black Work Lady, I went on to working on Xenia and Boo Club for the sort of a bit of a dark October stitching. So this is Xenia, Nora Corbett Xenia. I hadn't pulled her out for quite some time either, so I thought it was time she came out to play. And she is stitched on 32 count Opal Linen Beach Walk from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here she is. This is where she's at. So what I will do, if I can get it to work, is I'll actually put a before picture here. And then you'll see the difference. So essentially I've worked on just this bit in here and filled in more in here. And that's our wonderful Xenia. She's doing all right. She'll get there eventually. No hurry with these things, is there? No hurry whatsoever. So the other thing I worked on in October was Boo Club, Lizzie Kate. And I'm slowly working through Boo Club, trying to do one of these little blocks a month. And this is for the Halloween Orny blog. Also Stitch Mania Halloween all year round, but I keep forgetting to post every week because I'm so slack. And I'm currently up to Monster, which is the October block. So I'm not quite up to date. I was almost up to date, but I had a bit of a slowdown there at the end of the month. So then I've just got to do these two and carry on down with the border. So I will show you. I'm pretty sure I showed you in my last video, Boo Club. And when I showed it to you last time, I just had a cat jump on my lap, but he's gone now. I had just finished Fright. So I've now done Brew and I've started the Monster. And I've also brought the border down one side to where it should be and continued on the border here. So again, I will put in a before pic here of where it was at the beginning of October. And then you'll see sort of how much I've done. This is on Wicked Garden. Let's see if I can show you. It's a colour Cascade fabric and it is 28 count Lugana from memory. I think that's what it was. It was a Studio Sessions one, so I don't really have a piece of paper to say what it is, but I'm pretty sure when I purchased it that it was 28 count Lugana opal. So what else did we do? I'm just flicking pages here. When I did that, oh yes, that's right. So after I did a number of days on Boo Club and caught myself up, I think I did Boo Club, I worked on that for about a week just to catch up and try and get to where I should be for October. I then picked up Dressmaker's Daughter, which is a Mirabilia. And again, I will put a before pic here. But this is Dressmaker's Daughter. So Dressmaker's Daughter was my New Year, New Start for January 2018. And at the time this is the centre of the time. So at the time, Australia was in summer, so I started on summer. And then when I picked it up this time, because we're now in spring, I'm now working on spring. So I did a little bit of the summer to bring me down to a line that I could then count across and start doing some spring. I haven't touched either the autumn or the winter. What I'll do is I'll go back to summer from December for a couple of months, and then I'll do the autumn and then the winter, and I'll just try and stick it as a seasonal one for the time being, a bit like I'm doing with Maidens of the Season. So here we are. So you would have already seen hopefully a before shot, but if you didn't, I'd done all of that prior, and I just had to come down a little bit further here so that I could then go across and do spring. So this is where Dressmaker's Daughter is at the moment, and this is on 32 count Belfast, also a colour Cascade fabric, and it's called Golden Touch. So it's basically a very, very, very pale pink with splotches of like a goldy brown through it. I'm not sure if I've actually made the right decision to do this now, because when I've started doing the pink background, it almost fades in. But I think it'll be all right. We'll see. It's too late now because I ain't going back. I'm not changing. So that then brought us up to the Stitch Mania sale for the midterm elections. So just to get my notes here. So the midterm elections was running from the 23rd of October to today. And I basically just looked at what my whips were and tried to fit in things as best I could for the whips. So my first whip that I picked up was Country Cottage Needleworks Christmas Carols. So I will put in a before pic here. Hopefully, if that goes well, you'll see a before pic. Otherwise, take it as written. This is where I am at and what I've done. So in my rotation, I did this for 2 days with the sal, and essentially I just did the bauble, the snowflake, the little music notes, and started up here, which is going to be the start of the little branch that goes across the top. So I just focused on this little area here. So all of those words had already been previously done. So yeah. This one is stitched on a Jodyri Designs fabric, which is called Scottish Heather, and that was the June 2017 limited edition, and it is a 28 count opal Brittany. So Christmas carols I did for 2 days, so it was the 23rd and the 24th of October. I think it was for a red and something with words, I think, from memory. Then I moved on to a whip that I haven't had out probably since I was last doing my videos, so 12 months ago. And that was my Deer and Grape sampler. So anybody who has watched previous videos will recognise this. I will put in a before pic here. And this is where I'm at now. So this is the whole thing. So since I picked it up this time round, I have completed that line and that line. I've done the hearts with the satin stitch. I've done the tree. I've done the row of long-armed cross stitch, and I'll have to take the side of the Q-snap off and move it to carry on. And I've also done the same with the herringbone. Carried on down the border because the border was up here somewhere, so I've carried on down the border, and I'm now coming across and I'm doing here. So this has now become a focus on a finished piece for me. I want to get this done by the end of the month. In here, obviously, I've got to chart what I'm going to put, and also up here, I've got to chart what I'm going to put. So that's probably going to hold me up because I'm crap at charting and working out what I want to put on samplers. And that's usually why I don't do samplers, because I just never know what to put in them, but I'll work something out. And it will get finished in November. I'm hoping to finish it probably in the next few days, because what I'm also doing is the Nano Stitchmo November sale in Stitch Mania is to stitch on something relating to 50, and I've decided that I will do 50 stitches or 50 minutes on this piece every day. So 50 stitches when I've got something else on, and then if I haven't got anything else I particularly want to stitch on, it'll be at least 50 minutes on this because I want to get this finished. So I'm quite pleased with that one. So we've been doing that for quite a few days so far, at sort of end of October into a couple of days into November, but basically I've tried to focus on that quite a bit. So from the Deer and Grapes sampler, I used that one for like my oldest whip, and I used it for something with a D or something, I can't remember, doesn't matter. It's not really relevant. And that's stitched on a 32 count Lugana called Autumn Glade, and it's from a dyer called Stitches and Spice, but unfortunately they no longer dye, but it was an Australian dyer. So then we moved on to another whip that I stitched on once and never picked up again for about 12 months. Probably not quite that long because I did start it this year. And it was my summer schoolhouse lesson number 1. This is the first one that I've ever done by Belinda Gervais, and since starting it, I think I'm now in love with Belinda Gervais stuff, and I just keep seeing it everywhere, and I've got to keep buying them. Especially the little mice ones. I love the little mice. So, with this one, I will put in a before pic here. But there was not much to show, and there's still not much to show. So this is where I'm up to. So in this rotation, so beforehand I had the 3 windows across the top and that window, and I think I'd started that door frame. So in this rotation, I finished the door frame, did that window, and I've started filling in on the door frame. This is stitched on 28 count mushroom Lugana, which is the called for thread and fabric, and it is stitched 1/1 with the called for threads, as exactly as charted. So far no changes. So yeah, tiny, can't really see much, but cute. Love it. Should get back to it, I know. We then went on and did, what did I do with the picture? I obviously didn't pull the picture out. Oh well. I will put in a before pic and a picture of what it's supposed to be. For anyone who knows Little House Needleworks will know this one anyway. So this is Old Glory. So when I picked it up, I'll just put something behind that. When I picked it up for the sale, when was it? End of October, 27th of October. All I had done previously was just the brown border. And I worked on all the way across and started the blue bucket. I had this out again last night and I did a couple more rows of the blue bucket, filled in the red there and did obviously the top of the blue bucket. And that's all I've done on it so far. In DMC on 28 count Lugana dappled from Picture This Plus. This is one of my 2018 Picture This Plus fabrics of the month. Absolutely have loved getting the Picture This Plus fabric of the month through Crazy Annie, and so much so that I have signed up for 2019 and still going to keep going. So I get the 28 count Lugana in neutral as well as the 36 count in neutral, but I've changed it up for 2019 and gone colour because I thought probably got enough neutrals. I was getting to a point where I had not enough neutrals because I've got all these bright colours from the different dyers like Colour Cascade and Under the Sea Fabric and Jodyri Designs, and not enough neutrals, so I've now got neutrals. So from there we went on to, this is all still part of the Stitch Mania 2018 midterm election sale. We went on to Little House Needleworks 12 Days of Christmas. Before pick here. This one is here, and if I got the before pick right, you would have seen that I had only done 7 and the swans. I had done a number 8 and a number 9, and now I have finished off 7's swans are swimming, 8 maids are milking, and started the 9 lords leaping. This is also on a Jodyri Design fabric, 28 count opal Lugana, and it was another one of her mystery fabrics of the month, and this one's called Celebrations. So very, very pretty. This is another one I'd like to get done before the end of the year if I can. It is for my Christmas Orny blog. My idea was I was just going to stitch a 12 Days of Christmas piece, which is this one. And it's also, I'm using it for the Stitch Mania Christmas all year round. But again, I haven't posted for a while, so you wouldn't know I'm even stitching anything. So that brings us to the end of October. And Kat has decided to come to visit, and there's a cup of tea sitting there, so let me just grab my cup of tea in case he decides to knock that over. So from there, I will show you, I'll just move these out the way, what I've got for November plans. So November plans, I'm going to finish today on the Stitch Mania midterm election sale. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on tonight. I literally have no idea. The challenge is to stitch on a piece you're enabled to purchase. That could be so many pieces, I just don't know which one to choose. I'm tempted to do a Mill Hill kit and just pick up Muriel or something like that, and just because the Stash Queen enabled me to purchase Mill Hill kits. I saw them on her blog and fell in love with them. Also supposed to have started sometime this month, or in the last 5 days, a new sale with the colour Cascade fabric group, and I haven't got there yet, but I'll show you what I'm going to do in a minute. I also want to carry on with my 12 Days of Christmas, or my Christmas Quaker, which I could do because the Christmas Quaker from Bygone Stitches, I wasn't able to purchase that when I saw Dina stitching it, but I'd already decided possibly to stitch that. But then I saw Dina stitching it and I decided definitely to stitch that. So I could use that one tonight, but I'm not really in the mood to stitch all red today. So we'll see. There'll be something, I'm sure, in amongst all my millions of things. What else could I stitch on? I can't think what else I could stitch on now. I'm sure there'll be something. So we will now, that brings me to news. Actually, no, I'll do these first. So recently, anyone who watches Pam and Steph will know that Steph is stitching a Wizard of Oz piece. I think it's a Prairie Schooler. No, not a Prairie Schooler, Prairie Moon, I think. Can't remember. And she's been using these cute little needle minders. So I've seen them, I've fallen in love with them, I've wanted them, and I've resisted. And I resisted, and I resisted. And then I decided to go on the Flying Frog Stitchery Etsy shop. And when I did that, I saw there was only one set left. So guess what? They came home with me because there's no way I could leave one little set all on their own. But they're so cute. I just love them. They're so cute. And I think the way she does her needle minders is fantastic. She puts these little clay flowers on the back as the magnet. So you've virtually got two needle minders in one go. It's pretty cool, huh? So while I was there, I also bought this one. And this one is like a needle nanny for Teresa Koget's Halloween March. I'm got to get that pattern. I just want to stitch that at some point. And then I got a Pussycat Ouija board. And then she sent me Wonder Woman as a freebie. So I thought they were very, very cute. All sweet little things. The other needle minders I've got are so cute. Seriously, so cute you could die for. Have a look at these. Aren't they just beautiful? So I bought these two. Fell in love with this one and decided that I really wanted it. So I said to Kristeen, if you get some more, I want one. Next thing you know, this one turns up. These didn't turn up for a couple of days after. This got here first. And I'm like, I didn't order that. But then when I opened the box, there's a little note inside to say that it was a gift from a very special stitching friend, from Belinda, Aussie Stitcher. So thank you, Belinda. I really love this. It's so cute. And you really didn't need to send me the one that you were going to send yourself. Well, buy for yourself. But thank you. I appreciate that. It's so sweet. And then I got these two turned up a couple of days afterwards. These are so gorgeous. I'd have to say these are the nicest clay needle minders I have seen. I've got other ones from other needle minder suppliers, and they're big and they're chunky and they're not as well made as these. These are just so cute. So they're from Needleminder Obsession, who's an Aussie. I'll just see if I can pull that down a bit. She's an Aussie needleminder lady in Queensland. She has a Facebook page, which is Needleminder Obsession, and she has a Etsy shop called Stitchin' Mad. So absolutely can't highly recommend Kristeen enough. She is just brilliant. She gets stuff out really quickly. All the needle minders are really well done. They're just amazing. Fantastic. So if you're looking for needle minders, especially you Aussie girls, go grab them. Okay. So a couple of new starts I've got coming up. The rest of November plans I haven't really thought about. So what I might do, I had thought about them the other day, but it's all disappeared up into the God knows where. It's on my laptop. Just can't get it off onto the YouTube. Doesn't matter. So I will do another little bit of a video another time in the next couple of weeks and put that up and zip it all together or whatever and have plans for the rest of November. But one of the main things I'm going to do, and I will actually put a little picture just here, which will show you some details on it. But Kerry in Stitches is having a Blackwork birthday sale, and she posted on Instagram a little thing to let people know what she's going to be stitching, and I happen to have that chart, so I thought, well, I might join her. So it's the Christmas Angel. It is a Lesley tear design, and it came from Cross Stitch Gold number 96, and as you see, it is quite a pretty little chart. I'm debating whether I'm going to do the border. I'm definitely going to put the wings in, and Kerry was saying she's going to drop the wings, but I'm going to definitely have the wings. I'm just debating on whether I'm going to do the border yet. We'll get to that point. And the fabric I'm using is one from Lesley, from Under the Sea Fabrics, and it is called Iris. It's okay, I got this quite some time ago. It is a 32 opal linen, and it literally, it's just 14, not quite 14, I think it's just under 14 inches. If I have the border, I need 14 plus a little bit. So that's why I'm deciding whether I'm going to do the border or not. And I'm going to do her so that her wings are coming into this blue section here. So dead center of the fabric is here. So that should mean that she should get her wings up into this space here. So that's that one. See how we go. So that starts on 10th of November. So I should get underway on that one. Now I just quietly mentioned a sale with the Colour Cascade group, and Tammy's hosting that on her Facebook page. So I can't remember if it was a mirror sale or anything, but as long as it's on Colour Cascade fabric. I've got a funny feeling it was a mirror one because I think that's why we all chose mirrors, but I could be wrong. But I'm starting Royal Holiday at some point in the next few days. So Royal Holiday, it was going to be this one on Miss Christmas Eve, and I've now definitely decided on Royal Holiday. I think Aussie Stitcher Belinda is doing Royal Holiday as well. I think that's what she was going to start, and a couple of others are doing Santa's Sleigh from the Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve couriers, and there's all other people doing other Christmas related ones. So I'm doing mine on Tammy's Gold Digger Old Map style, which is this lovely big piece of material. You see I've pin marked my start, and I thought with this, because it's rather nicely mottled, it hopefully won't detract from the light colours of the fabric. And my thinking is there's this dark patch on the side here, and if I've got my measurements right and sort of worked it out, the candle should come in here. So I'm sort of thinking that, if she's got a candle in her hand, she's chasing the dark shadows away. I don't know, just one of those silly things you think of. But yeah, so I'm hoping, I was going to try and start that over the weekend, but my weekend didn't quite eventuate the way it should have done. I had virtually zero stitching time except for a couple of hours in the evening, and if I'm going to make a start on a mirror, I want to have a decent amount of time to make a start on a mirror. So we didn't quite get to that point, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll get there. I've got all of November to start it, haven't I, after all? Right, so that's it for a very quick update. I'm going to try and get this edited a little bit and put all those little before pictures in whenever you see my finger doing this. What else have I got to tell you? I think that's probably about it. I'm going to try and do some vlogs for this month, and I thought what I might do is maybe once a fortnight, if I've done, it depends on how much stitching I've done, but if I've done enough stitching that I can have some content for a vlog, I'll upload every fortnight. If not, it'll be every month, and I'll do like a little intro like this or something. I don't know how I'll do it, but you'll see something hopefully a bit more regularly if I do vlogs, and can try and do it that way. But other than that, I'd just like to say thank you for coming back and watching my latest video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and there was something in there that you liked, and that you'll come back and see me again soon. If you do like what you've seen, please subscribe, and apparently there's a little bell on the side that you can tick, which will let you know when I put up some videos. So if they're going to be more regular, it'll be nice to let you know when they're there, wouldn't it? But yeah, I'd just like to say thank you for subscribing. I have had a couple of new subscribers recently, so thank you very much. Thank you for all your comments and your wonderful welcome back on my video about a month or so ago. I really appreciate you taking the time to comment and like and welcoming me back. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. And yeah, if you want to have any questions on anything, please leave me a note in the comments and I will respond accordingly. Otherwise, thank you again, and I'll see you hopefully in another 2 or 3 weeks. Take care. See you soon. Bye.